जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। So adding to the word of Shri Bhagavatam and also extending my last discussion, and to serve the purpose for which I am here, to share my knowledge about astrology, about the planets, about their roles, about their interventions, about their importance in our lives. Today I had to discuss, and I had always thought of discussing the two most important and the major agents in the Indian astrology that are the major reason behind distinguishing Indian school of astrology with the Western school of astrology. And these two planets, they are known as Rahu and Ketu, which are always there in our horoscopes, and they are, of course, the most notorious and the most troublemakers in our lives, because we experience all kinds of problems, and we all are told about having various maleficence, various doshas about Rahu and Ketu, like the Kalsarpa Yoga and all in our horoscopes, which create a remarkable misery and unhappiness in our lives. So how these Rahu and Ketu, they are different, and how they differentiate the Indian astrology from the Westerners. Rahu and Ketu, these are not a real planet. These are the shadow planets. They're actually the nodes in the orbit of the Earth that revolves around the Sun. And at these particular nodes, Rahu, which is called as the North Node, and Ketu, which is called as the South Node, these nodes are 180 degrees apart in the orbit. And at exactly these nodes, we have the solar and the lunar eclipses in a year, which is also supported by a famous story in Srimad Bhagavatam about Rahu and Ketu, when Rahu was beheaded by the Mohini avatar of Lord Vishnu because of his mischievous act of deceiving the Devtas in order to have the Amrit, to have the elixir of life. So that's how Rahu is. Rahu is a shrewd and a cunning planet. It has got a vision, it has got an introspection about you. So beginning from Rahu, Rahu is a shadow of Saturn. It is also known as half Saturn. It works like a Saturn. But contrary to Saturn, I told you about Saturn in my last discussion, that Saturn limits your achievements. It confines your achievements. It confines your reach to achieve. It puts you in a boundary where you find yourself unable, incompetent to attain, to achieve your desires. But on the other hand, Rahu is about obsessing about the same desires to which Saturn has denied or refused in your life. And also that we cannot understand Rahu and Ketu if we don't believe in our past life. That's also an important difference between the Indian and the Western astrology. Westerners they had no idea about the past and the future lives. It was only when the Indian astrology came up with the concept and the principle to justify these concepts through the planets like Rahu and Ketu, through which Indian astrology, it substantiates the concept that we also have a past life, we also have a carryover of the past life obsessions, the past life karmas, the past life desires, the past life orientations in this life. And we, most of the time, we even suffer, and sometimes we even gain from what we had left in our past lives. What we couldn't achieve, we are delivered in this life. And what we did wrong in our past lives is also delivered in the same life, or perhaps in the future lives to come. So we cannot understand Rahu and Ketu if we can't believe in past life. So these two planets, the Rahu and Ketu, they give you an idea, they give you a picture, they give you a screenshot of your past life, that what you were doing, what did you reap in your past life, what have you got, what amount of balance that you have. So the Rahu is being a shadow of Saturn, is all about obsessions, is about desires, is about the passion that you've got in your life. It is a very, very important planet to determine your career path, to determine your track of life, where you will be heading in your life, what purpose you have, what purpose you will be serving in your life. And when this Rahu, it becomes too strong in one's horoscope, it's like a hub of a tremendous energy which always keeps you pushing and pushing to achieve more and more. All this expansion of science and technology in the world, all the higher levels of achievement in the field of technology, in the field of science, the scientific revolution, it's all because of Rahu. And also, for information, US being the most advanced in the scientific revolution, the country, United States of America, has a very, very strong involvement of Rahu in its horoscope. We also discuss the horoscopes of different countries. It's not just limited to the person and the people. We have horoscopes for the different countries, and they give a very, very strong indication about the country's future, about the country's overall personality, overall orientation of the country. So Rahu has a great involvement in the horoscope of United States of America. So Rahu, which gives you obsessions, wherever it's placed in your horoscope, that will be your single most desirable thing in your life. You will be all about that particular emotion. You will be all about that particular part of your achievement. We have different areas in our horoscopes. We have different zones which signify different part of our lives. Like we have the first house, we call them houses, these zones. Like we have first house, which signify your personality, your soul, your overall makeup, your intelligence, your wisdom. Second house, it signifies your money, the amount of wealth you'll be acquiring. Third house is about your efforts, your hard work, your labor. Fourth house is about the happiness, your mother, the vehicles that you own. Fifth house is about education. Fifth house is also about the children. Sixth house is about the miseries, the accidents, litigations, lawsuits, loans, diseases. So we have these various 12 houses which have innumerable characteristics and innumerable significations. And whichever house the Rahu is placed into, and with the combination of different planets, gives different kinds of results that has been tested over the period of time over various personalities of the world. For example, if you have in the second house, the house of money, if you have Rahu placed along with Saturn and Mercury, let's say. Mercury is the planet of intelligence. I told you in my last discussion, Mercury is all about intelligence, about your vision, about how you pursue things, about how you judge things, how are you able to analyze the situations. It's all about Mercury. And Mercury, when turns negative, it delivers negative intelligence. And combined with Rahu, which is already a cunning planet, in the second house, will give you obsession about acquiring and earning wealth by any means possible, even by the crooked methods. With such a combination, someone could even be a scammer, will have no hesitation to get away with scamming the government and the people. Such a combination, if I give you an example of a personality, the involvement of Rahu, the combination of Rahu with Mars. Mars is a planet which generates the intensity, it generates the force of life, it generates the personality, which is all about fighting and adapting the war methods, the aggressive methods in one's life. So Rahu, when it gets combined with Mars, there is a perfect example for this. Adolf Hitler, in his horoscope, he had Rahu, Mars and Sun all together. Sun is the planet which gives you ego and royalty. It gives you a superior complex in your life. It makes you feel that you're superior to the other people. And Mars gives you aggression, gives you intensity, gives you a tremendous willpower and force. With Rahu, which gives you a cunning attitude, all these together, the energies in your first house, the house of intelligence, house of your approach in life, will make you someone like Adolf Hitler. And we all know what he did in his life. The difference that he made to the world about his ambition. Similarly, such kind of a combination is also seen. We have many examples, like Steve Jobs, a person who began from a very humble background. He had no qualifications other than a long vision, and he just had his attitude, stubbornness, and adamancy that he had, and he knew what he had to do and where he had to be. That's the vision. Comes by Rahu, no one else. He also had the Rahu involvement in his horoscope. So that's what Rahu gives you. That's where it takes you in life. Similarly, when we talk about the Ketu, which is another shadow planet, a shadow planet. It is a shadow of Mars. Mars is a planet which is all about wars and battles, is about hard work, is about perseverance, is about perspiration, is about aggression, is about anger, is all about achievement. Just going out and achieve. That's what Mars is all about. That's what it expresses in our horoscope. And Ketu is a planet which is a shadow of Mars, or is a half Mars. Also gives you an indication and insight about your previous life. But this is a planet which does not make you obsessive, but instead it makes you emancipative, it makes you detached. It liberates you from the materials, from whatever you had in your past life, whatever you exceeded in your achievement in your previous life. Ketu will disintegrate you with that part of your life, that aspect of your life in the present context, and will not give you the energy, will not give you the will, the force to achieve that. Let's say if you have Ketu in your second house, like the Rahu in your second house, can make you obsessive about money and will turn you out to go out and earn more and more without having a stop in your life, without having an end to that. Ketu will, on the other hand, Ketu will make you too detached from the money and from the materials. It will give you a satisfaction, it will give you a barrier, it will create a barrier in your life, and at one point of time in your life you will feel like that I don't like to achieve anymore, I don't want to achieve anymore. You will be happy, you will be satisfied with whatever you have got, whatever you have earned in your life, and that will be enough for you. That's how Ketu is. If Ketu is in the 7th house, which is the house of marriage, and that's a very big reason, it's an important reason why most of the people, they are not able to get married in their life. Because when they have these Ketu in their 7th house is the house of marriage, the house which delivers a happy and a successful married life. But having Ketu in that 7th house will put you down to go and get married, will take away your desire of getting married, and within 1 or 2 experiences of your life, you'll say that I'm done with it and I don't want to get married anymore. And then you will not even be able to adjust with anybody else in your life. So that fails the purpose of getting married. That's how Ketu does. That's what Ketu does in your life. That's how it expresses itself in your life, in various areas of your horoscope. Ketu is also about spirituality, is also about moksha. And if you have Ketu in your first life, these people, first house, when you have Ketu in your first house is about your willpower, your energy, your intelligence, your overall direction of life. When they have Ketu in their first house, these people, they have a very, very timid willpower. They have a very small, a very soft willpower. They don't have that force to come back to the life again. That's how we can see that some people, when they fall sick, when they suffer from various kinds of diseases or the disorders, which perhaps could be the most dreadful of the diseases, they could even be terminally ill. But sometimes, some people, they, with their willpower, even if they are suffering from cancer, they come back to life, they fight with it, they win the war. But some people, they lose it, they succumb to their diseases. In such cases, Ketu makes a difference. If Ketu is in your first house, then it will make you lose the desire to live, to come back to life again. And that's why when the people who are in these armed forces, who are in the armies, if they have these, most of the people who are rejected when they have this selection in the army, when they have recruitments in the army, those who are rejected, they have a very weak Ketu in their horoscopes. It has been a research, it has been found about that. So Rahu and Ketu together, they play a game in our horoscopes. They give positives and negatives. And now coming over to the Kalsarpa Yoga. This is also a yoga which is somewhere related to the backlog of your past life. When something has been left incomplete from your past life, you are here to complete the same thing which you left over, which you have left over, and then you have this Kalsarpa Yoga. What it does is that it unreasonably imbalances the energy in your horoscope. It places all the planets at one half of the horoscope and the other half remains empty. So these type of people, they are excellent perhaps in one area of their life, but they have a very terrible life in the other areas. So let's say if one is earning tremendously good, but he has a terrible married life, he has a terrible family life. So that's how these people are, that's how they go in their life. They don't have the balance, they don't have everything in their hands in justified amounts. Something is too high and something is too low. So this is about Kalsarpa Yoga. It's all about your past life. You have whatever you have acquired, whatever you had left incomplete in your past life, and you are here now to complete that. So this was about Rahu and Ketu. And there is a world of knowledge in astrology which cannot be summed up in a little time, because these planets, they have so much to tell, so much to give in your life, that if we start discussing about them, each and every planet, they have a different story, a different direction that they give in your life. So due to shortage of time, I would like to conclude myself here. And it was great, and it was an illuminating week of spiritual knowledge through Shri Bhagavatam, and even I got this opportunity to present some knowledge, some wealth of information about astrology that I have to you all, to give you some wisdom, some direction. I hope that this makes a difference in your life, you take something from here and you apply it in your lives. That's the biggest purpose that we are here to serve from this platform. And with this, I end my discussion. With this, I conclude my discussion. Thank you, and Jai Shri.